Cupbearer. A cupbearer was historically an officer of high rank in royal courts, whose duty was to pour and serve the drinks at the royal table. On account of the constant fear of plots and intrigues such as poisoning, a person must have been regarded as thoroughly trustworthy to hold the position. He would guard against poison in the king's cup, and was sometimes required to swallow some of the drink before serving it. His confidential relations with the king often gave him a position of great influence. The position of cupbearer has been greatly valued and given only to a select few throughout history. Qualifications for the job were not held lightly, but in high esteem. Holders of the position were valued for their beauty and even more for their modesty, industriousness, and courage. The cupbearer as an honorific role, for example, as the Egyptian hieroglyph for cupbearer, was used as late as 196 BC in the Rosetta Stone for the Kanephoros, cupbearer Areia, daughter of Diogenes. Each Ptolemaic decree starting with the Decree of Canopus honored a cupbearer. A much older role was the appointment of Sargon of Akkad as cupbearer in the 23rd century BC. Cupbearers in the Bible. Cupbearers are mentioned several times in the Bible. The position is first mentioned in Genesis 40:1, although the Hebrew word elsewhere translated cupbearer is sometimes rendered here as butler. The phrase chief of the butlers Genesis 40:2 accords with the fact that there were often a number of such officials under one as chief compares in Helen, Romans 7:1-38. In the post-exilic period, Nehemiah rose to the high-ranking palace position of cupbearer to King Artaxerxes, a sixth king of the Medo-Persian Empire. The position placed his life on the line every day, but gave Nehemiah authority and high pay, and was held in high esteem by him, as the record shows. His financial ability Nehemiah 5:8,101,417 would indicate that the office was a lucrative one. Cupbearers are mentioned further in 1 Kings 10:5 and 2 Chronicles 9:4, where they, among other evidences of royal splendor, are stated to have impressed the Queen of Sheba with Solomon's glory. The title Rabshakeh, Isaiah 36:2, once thought to mean chief of the cupbearers, is now given a different derivation and explained as chief of the officers, or princes BDB under the word. See further on cupbearers. Herod, Roman 3:34, Sen. Sirach, I. 3:8-9, Josephus and Roman 16, Roman 8:1, Tobit 1:22. Cupbearers in Greek myth. Cupbearers in Byzantium. Cupbearers as Palatine officers in Visigothic Spain. One of the Palatine officers who was in the service of the Visigothic kings was called cum scancium, or Count of the Cupbearers. The count headed the scansia singular scancium, which in English would be called cellars or buttery, and in French échansonnerie, which is a cognate to the Latinized Gothic term used in Spain. The count would have poured the king's wine or drink personally, while the other cupbearers served other distinguished guests at the royal table. Cupbearers as a great office in the Holy Roman Empire. The King of Bohemia ranked as arch-cupbearer of the Holy Roman Empire. His duties were normally performed only during coronations. At other times, the Count of Limburg and, after 1714, Count of Olfen served as cupbearers for the emperor. Cupbearer in Shakespeare. Camillo in The Winter's Tale is cupbearer to Leonce, King of Sicily, and Polixenes, King of Bohemia. When Leonce becomes convinced of his wife Hermione's infidelity with Polixenes, he entreats Camillo to use his privileged position as his cupbearer to poison Polixenes. I and thou, his cupbearer, whom I from meaner form have benched and reared to worship, who mayst see, mayst see, mayst see, mayst see, plainly as heaven sees earth sees heaven. How I am galled, might Bispis a cup, to give mine enemy a lasting wink, which draught to me were cordial. Shakespeare, The Winter's Tale 1.2, 2.2.2.2.2 1.2.2.2. Cupbearers in Ireland. Theobald Walter was the first chief butler of Ireland. Although the terms cupbearer and butler are sometimes used interchangeably, they were two distinct roles at the coronation feast. 1. Poland and Lithuania, Uania. Chesnik Polish cupbearer was a court office in Poland and Lithuania until the end of the 13th century. The holder was responsible for the wine cellar of the king and for serving him cups with wine at banquets. Since the 14th century, it has been an honorary court title in the Crown of Poland and Grand Duchy of Lithuania and in the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Chesnik Korony King's cupbearer of the Crown. Chesnik Lipski Grand Duke's cupbearer of Lithuania. Chesnik Zemski District King's cupbearer. According to the district office hierarchy in 1768, the position in the crown was over Loksy and under Podstali, in the Grand Duchy of Lithuania over Horodnicy and under Podsasny.